All right, let's jump right into this explainer. Today, we're unpacking a highly strategic playbook for stepping back, doing the dark work, and emerging victorious. If you've been feeling just surrounded by noise, drained by constant distractions, or kind of like you're always talking about your goals without actually achieving them, well, you're absolutely in the right place. We are breaking down a complete masterclass in the philosophy of moving entirely in silence.
Here is the roadmap for how we're going to do this. We'll start with divorcing modern distractions, then look at the superpower of silence, lay out 5 actionable steps to disappear, walk through your 30-day focus plan, and finish up with a checkmate move.
So, starting with Section 1, divorcing modern distractions and recognizing what drains your energy. Because before we can really move forward, we have to face the sheer volume of noise surrounding us every single day. We live in this era of constant connection, but ironically, that connection is often exactly what's holding us back. I want you to ask yourself, honestly, right now, who and what actually has your attention? Are you essentially programming yourself for entertainment that just pulls you away from your true goals? Think about it. Are you spending precious time watching mind-numbing TV, scrolling through infinite feeds, or engaging with things that take from you rather than give to you? Not everything in your life is bringing you closer to your purpose, right? It's such a dangerous trap. We constantly end up comparing our absolute worst days to someone else's beautifully curated highlight reels, instead of focusing on the unseen, gritty work of true success. When you're living vicariously through social media, you aren't seeing the actual step-by-step process. You're just seeing the artificial peaks. And while you're distracted by those, you're totally missing out on doing the actual dark work required to build something significant for yourself. Let's call out these specific culprits, the energy drainers that demand you just completely unplug for a season. You've got the constant digital loops, the notifications popping up every 2 seconds, sure. But it's also the people. You might have folks in your life who call themselves friends, but honestly, they're just standing there waiting to see you fail. You've got doubters telling you your dreams are impossible, mostly because they gave up on their own. And if you broadcast your process too early, you inevitably invite copycats into your space. To protect your vision, you've got to cut off both the digital and the human drains. That brings us to Section 2, the superpower of silence and embracing the dark room. Once you finally unplugged from all those drainers, you enter a space that most people run from, but highly successful people master entirely. Now, this is absolutely crucial to understand. The dark room isn't a place of depression. It's an incubator. It's a required space to equip yourself for the next stage of your destiny. Yeah, it's miserable for some. It's lonely. It really sucks when you're used to constant external validation. But it is literally the only place where the most transformational results of your life are going to be developed. You aren't doing this to be celebrated today. You're doing it because it's the only way to get what you truly want tomorrow. Think about Kobe Bryant for a second. He once talked about being 17 years old, feeling like a total outsider who wasn't invited to parties or weekend hangouts. So what did he do? On Fridays and Saturdays, he'd go into his rec room, in the dark, and basically dribble himself to sleep. He credited those exact lonely hours for helping him discover his intense hunger and motivation. He didn't run from the dark room, he embraced it. And that story brilliantly illustrates why we have to stop looking at alone time as a punishment. Solitude is a gift, not a monster. We tend to let solitude masquerade as this constant reminder that we aren't enough or that we're missing out. We have to flip that script. Solitude is a superpower. It's the ultimate leverage point where you can get into your own head, understand your behaviors, and dial in exactly what you need to do without anybody else interfering. Moving right along to Section 3, 5 steps to disappear. Let's look at how to execute this strategic withdrawal. We're getting into the actual actionable playbook here. All right, grab a pen because here is your specific 5-step roadmap to disappearing for 3 to 6 months so you can build your skills in total privacy. Step 1, you completely divorce distractions and unplug from the noise. Step 2, willingly enter the dark room alone, embracing that solitude. Step 3, deeply analyze your limitations, your strengths, and where exactly you're winning and losing. Step 4, you put in the reps, the missed meals, the lost sleep, you work relentlessly behind the scenes. And finally, Step 5, you secure the win before you ever open your mouth to speak about it. Which brings us to sort of the golden rule of this whole playbook. You build in the dark and you announce it when it's finished. Seriously, stop telling the world every minor step of your process when you haven't even won yet. Multitasking and broadcasting your journey just invites interference. You need to hunger to master just one thing in secret. Give your entire being to an idea behind closed doors without needing a single person there to applaud you. So how do we start? Section 4. Your 30-day focus plan. It's time to rewrite the code. Let's translate those 5 steps into a concrete 30-day personal development template based directly on our source material.
Okay, here is your 30-day template. This is a challenge to sit down for a month, shut out the world, and systematically rewrite your internal code. Phase 1 is all about unplugging. You actively log out of your apps and silence notifications to stop comparing your life to others. Then, Phase 2, analyze. Grab a pen and literally write down what is killing your progress. Confront your limitations head-on. Finally, Phase 3 is where you hardwire new parameters. You establish new values and force yourself to execute them diligently every single day with absolutely zero audience.
I really want to challenge you here. Can you create, invent, and build something unbelievable with just you and yourself? Or, maybe just you and a trusted mentor. Can you execute your dream without spilling the beans to the entire public? Look, if your dream only requires you, maybe it isn't big enough. Sure, your team is coming eventually, but it absolutely has to start with you working in total obscurity. During these 30 days, you're going to have to unlock some entirely new paradigms. You literally need to look in the mirror and talk to yourself. Tell yourself what you must become. You need to understand what makes you tick, how you send your energy out into the world, and most importantly, you have to master the art of just spending time alone. This internal conditioning is exactly what it takes to thrive in the dark. And finally, we arrive at Section 5, the checkmate move, shocking everyone who doubted you. This is the climax of the strategy, that exact moment you step back into the light. Because, look, a true master strategist doesn't narrate their moves, right? They just show up, execute, and let the victory speak for itself. You've got to treat this season of your life like a chess game. You do all your planning, your calculating, and your maneuvering in absolute silence. And then, when the trap is perfectly set, you make your move. Checkmate. Way too many people today want to put out a trailer for their life before they've even arrived at their destination. You don't need a trailer. Win without a word. Just show up, do the thing, let the contracts drop on the table, and let the documentary come out after you win. Let your unarguable success be the absolute only announcement you ever make. 0. That is exactly how many words you should be saying to your doubters and fake friends until your ultimate victory is secured. They talked about you, they deserted you, left you for dead? Fine. Don't say a single word back. Just watch their faces when you drop that checkmate move out of nowhere. Ultimately, every table you sit at, every room you walk into, every stage you stand on, the question you're going to have to answer is, did things get better because you were there? I want to leave you with this provocative thought about your legacy. What we do in secret, in that dark room, is exactly what dictates how we execute in public. Embrace the silence, do the dark work, and equip yourself so that when you finally step back into the light, the answer to that question is a resounding, undeniable yes. Now is the time to disappear, put in the work, and become who you were meant to be.